8-Bit Ninja here with the next part of the Dragon's Crown Let's Play, and this time I'm going to try adding some commentary and see how that works.
The magician Lucane is waiting for you in the laboratory of the old tower.
So here we're picking up where we left off at the last one when we
had an adverse effect on his
just resurrected the wizard.
Can't remember why he went to meet Wallace. Lucane is researching magic called runes, which are closely tied to spirits and fairies. Lucane introduces his fairy friend to you. Her name is Tiki. She left the fairy forest due to her strong curiosity. He thanks you again for saving him and allowing him to enjoy life's rich pageant. He displays his magic trinkets. Lucane says that he'd be happy to sell you these items at a fraction of the normal price and answer any questions you have. What will you ask? The magician Wallace was an old friend of Lucane's. He was known as a great magician. He sealed that group, or myopia, a cyclopes in a labyrinth, and saved the land. He also mentored young magicians in his tower. He was also the king's trusted advisor, and Lucane trails off. It seems that Lucane's memory has failed him again. Before you realize it, Tiki is following you around. She seems to have taken a liking to you. She will accompany you on your adventures henceforth. Fairies are known to be adept at finding hidden things.
Okay, now it looks like we're off to the Adventurers Guild.
A letter from the castle has come to you via the guild. It simply says to report to the castle in all haste.
Welcome back. There's a request.
Pick up the little side quest that's available. Wallace's Underground Labyrinth. See if there's anything to use my skill point on here. Let's see. Might as well. Great little shockwaves, deal some extra damage.
You assume that the letter was sent by the Prime Minister. Perhaps he has it.
Off to the castle.
Count Dean is waiting for you at the throne room. It is he who sent the letter. After your previous encounter, you can only assume that he's up to something nefarious. You brace for combat. The guards have drawn their swords and are blocking the exit. Count Dean starts talking to you in a soft voice. He says that he has personally requested your assistance in performing a task for him. He wants you to scout Bilberon Fortress on the border. This underground fortress is a well-known structure. Originally built to defend against the Orc army, it now lies in Orc hands. Scout them and learn. It is a very dangerous mission.
I only skipped ahead there.
But refusal means that you will be at the mercy of Dean's guards. You accept. Per Count Dean's request, you agreed to infiltrate and surveil the subterranean fortress
so we can get to the fortress. Should have just used the select menu, but oh well. Okay, subterranean fortress, here we go.
The Orc army presently controls Bilberon, the underground fortress built into the canyon. The king's army has been mounting a fierce offensive to try and reclaim the fortress.
Oh look, some goblins. Yeah, there were some goblins.
Oh, I can do that.
Get some of that little treasure out of the wall. Unlock the chest.
Yes. Voila!
What?
Oh look, more goblins and orcs. Nothing else?
You step into the enemy kitchen. A corpulent chef grabs a goblin instead of meat
Ugly
and suddenly
hobgoblin.
stops. The cook, sensing your presence, stares directly at you. Luckily, her sight's not so keen, so she doesn't notice you. Eventually, the chef returns to her meat cutting. You use the goblin's screams to mask your escape.
Okay, we got some more orcs. Ah, Jesus Christ, getting juggled around there. Alright, there we go. Time to move on. Well, look for some hidden items first, a little extra money. And you gotta love those little spike areas. Jump on them, you get hurt. It's kinda helpful having a higher level NPC companion, though. Makes it a lot easier. And you gotta love, too, how when you're doing all the work, the little fairy there, she just reclines on the treasure chest. Oh, and there's a little hidden door there you can use the bombs to get into.
It's my turn. Oh, yeah.
Take care of the goblins first, then we'll go back to the door. Oh, look, another orc. Couple little wizards in here, shouldn't be too difficult. There we go, now I get a nice little treasure chest.
Oh, yes. Voila!
Enemies.
Oh, look, a goblin ambush. Oh, there was a goblin ambush.
Outstanding.
Go back and get some of that treasure. Figures I'd hit those spikes again. The goblins are everywhere.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I got it. Simple.
Oh look, it's stuck in a little cage. Gotta knock it down before you can ride it. But I think we accidentally killed it. Yeah. A little too much damage to it there. Oh, and then those little
It's
brown
my
barrels
turn.
there, those ones, if you break them up, spill oil, and if you light them on fire, it'll spread throughout the ground. Makes it really difficult to get through some areas when you're playing on multiplayer. Because every time I've got on multiplayer, it seems like the players want to just keep breaking those barrels and using fire magic everywhere. Okay, that takes care of all the sleeping orcs.
Luca.
Now loot the room.
They're here.
Also with the barrels too, it doesn't help they put those little burning fire pits around. If you knock them over in the oil, that sets them off too. Oh yeah, there's the oil right there. Actually broke the barrel.
Outstanding.
Okay, open the door.
Done.
More sleeping orcs.
Let's see. Simple.
It's funny how you can do this and only the ones that you hit will wake up.
Oh my.
The others just sleep right through it all.
What?
Yep, this is the room where most people in multiplayer tend to set everything on fire. Now, some goblins should be coming up here soon that will usually start some small. We'll start one set of fires, but a lot of players here will pick up the torch and just keep setting more fires as you go through.
Outstanding. Oh, I can do that. Oh, quit it.
At the bottom of the stairs is an area connected to the sewers. This seems your most likely escape route.
Yes, because the sewers just seem such a safe escape route. Oh, look, Mommy, a cow. I'm just about done. There we go.
After defeating the Minotaur, you move through the sewer's filth.
The bosses in this game aren't really too difficult as long as you can keep just moving around them
across enemy lines.
and abuse the dodge button. Makes it pretty easy. Ooh, a level up.
Among the treasures you claimed is the great sword of the hero Javelin.
Okay, let's see here. Don't really like wasting my time with anything that's less than maybe a B rank. That's just my preference. I just sell everything else because obviously the appraised price is always more than the sell price. Usually even after it's appraised, it's worth less than if you just sold it outright.
You succeeded in acquiring intel on the underground fortress. This job will be completed
Put
once
the
you report
new weapon
to
in there.
Captain. Welcome to my... Which one do you want?
Finished repairing all the gear. It's really irritating
You
if they break when you're in the middle of a
succeeded in
dungeon
acquiring intel on the
and your
underground
stats
fortress.
drop considerably
This
depending
job
on your
will be
piece.
completed once you report to Count Dean.
Back to the castle.
You report everything you learn to Count Dean. Unfortunately, you also mention the hero's legendary sword. Naturally, he demands the great sword, but at least he's in a good mood now. He thought you'd just flee, but you didn't. It seems that he thinks much more highly of you now. Dean confides in you some of the problems in the castle. Once the king went missing, the Prime Minister began recommending the Archduke McNeil of Bolga to the throne. Bolga is an aggressive nation to the north. McNeil is related to the King of Hydeland and has a legal claim to the throne. Count Dean claims that McNeil has been rallying nobles in Hydeland to support his claim to the throne. That's why Dean hired Tomet to steal the scepter. He says that Tomet is extremely trustworthy. Suddenly, the Prime Minister and the Princess appear. It seems you were being watched. The Count glowers and departs. The Prime Minister warns you not to involve yourself any further. The Princess, as usual, looks back with blank eyes. Since you completed the job at the castle, you return to the Adventurers Guild to tell them what transpired. Roland also happens to be here to report on a job. However, Samuel is not here. Roland is waiting for him to return. Roland thinks that he just missed him, and asks you to track down the Guildmaster and bring him back.
Now, if you go back and talk to him, he will mention that Samuel is pretty religious when it comes to when he does his prayers. So I already know about that. So he's over here in the temple.
What troubles you, my child?
Pray option.
You stand before the goddess statues. Jula. I'll text say the god Althena, the one in the center, is the goddess of compassion, battle, and odyssey, making her popular with adventurers. If your party falls during your adventure, a prayer to Althena and a tithing of your money will resurrect the party. If you are repeatedly depending on her grace, the amount you must offer for her services will continually increase. A giant man in armor finishes his prayers and turns around.
The whole price increase doesn't seem to matter too much. I did another full playthrough and didn't even use it once.
He tells you he was praying because he has sent many friends to look for the king, but they haven't found the slightest clue. When you ask to help, Samuel just nods and hands you a request form. It's the same request the temple gave you. In a remote region, marriageable girls are disappearing one by one. The catacombs are believed to be linked somehow.
Okay, so it sounds like we're going to the catacombs. No good companions, so I'm just gonna go ahead and bury all of them. Sometimes you can get items out of it, but let's see.
May they rest in peace.
Nothing this time.
As you leave the temple, a ragged old man slumped in the road calls out to you in a gravelly voice. His raspy voice makes it difficult for you to discern if he's even speaking your language. You can give him a coin if you feel pity for him. Of course, you're free to walk away as well.
That's only one gold coin.
He doesn't even acknowledge the coin. Imagine what night I've seen. He mutters over and over. You probably won't be able to communicate with him, no matter how long you strain your concentration. To solve the mystery of the disappearances, you head to the catacombs where the villagers fear to tread.
Just going to the gate to go to the catacombs. Alright, here we go.
In the catacombs,
What?
stark
Ooh,
white bones
zombies.
strewn about the ground as far as I can see.
Can't have a game anymore nowadays without zombies.
This is the only indication left of this area's former prosperity.
Oh look, more after breaking the sarcophagus. Oh, and there's the big ones. They like to kind of blow up after you kill them, and they shoot a bunch of the worms out. The green stuff causes a little bit of damage as you stand in it, possibly poison you.
I got it.
Took him long enough to go for the chest. Skeletons!
A strange knight stumbles
Now that
out of
looks
the
like it
darkness
hurt.
towards you. You surmise that he is not of this world. The knight is muttering to himself as if in a daze. If I end my own life, they can no longer sacrifice me. When you move closer, the knight extends his hand. He's holding a scroll. When you accept it, the knight
Oops.
The path ahead of you is connected to
Oh
the
well, back to
ruins
more
of the
killing.
castle colloquially called the Castle of the Dead. In olden times, whenever a girl disappeared, the locals would say she'd been called to the Castle of the Dead.
Let's see. Simple.
Because ghosts are incorporeal, they are completely immune to physical attacks.
That's why you pick up the torch.
Their weakness is light. Torchlight will drive them off.
Once you got the torch, all you gotta do is just walk over to them and they go pop.
I got it. Voila. Let's see. Done.
Okay, some more
I got it.
loot.
Simple.
Oh look, a bound girl.
You saved a village girl. You must protect her now. Thank you.
Now, right now, it's not really required to save the village girls. I believe later on you do get a quest to come back and save all 3 of them. Why I'm doing it right now, I have no idea. This adds kind of a little bit more extra baggage to the boss
You
fight.
saved a village girl. You must protect her now.
here.
Oh look, more skellies.
Come at me.
And those buttons cause arrows of doom.
Enemies.
Oh look, more spiders too. Might as well go in and save the last girl while we're at it.
Oh, I can do that.
Oh, yes.
The vampire smokes and flies away. You saved a village girl.
At least it didn't
You
sparkle.
must protect her now. Protect the village girl. If she is bitten by the others, she will become a vampire.
It says the village girl, even though there's 3 of them. And this one here is just a matter of just killing vampires, because each one that you kill chips away at one of the overall health. Just a few waves of them you have to fight. But if you're not careful and they do manage to kill one of the village girls will actually turn into another vampire that you do have to fight. So it's always good if you ever see them being bitten to stop the vampire, because the vampire will not stop biting them unless you knock them off.
The kidnapped girls have been turned. They are now vampires, attacking other people. You utter a silent prayer, hoping that you have slain the last vampire, and leave the ruins.
Woohoo, another level!
In your hands is the bloody scroll that the Ghost Knight had given you.
Ooh, glowing weapons. S rank, not bad. I think I'm going to stick with the Imp's Falcon Axe. I like the freeze chance. Yeah, I'll stick with the Falcon. And sell the rest.
You have unraveled the mystery of the village girls' disappearances. Obtain your reward at the guild.
Go ahead and equip the new one. Now turn in
You
the
are
quest.
curious about the blood. After exam, it is a report. You can't deny that the ghost was The king's death will profoundly affect the kingdom and neighboring lands.
There's a request.
And then pick up the other 2 side missions while we're here. Probably the next one, let's probably focus on the side missions first to get some extra skill points. A couple extra levels. Go for I believe this... I don't know. Derp, I'm a level off for that one. Okay. Let's check the common pool now. Derp, level 12. I'll just go a slide attack. Little extra damage and knockback percentage never hurts.
Stop!
Oh look, apprehended by the guards.
Immediately, you are overwhelmed by guards and thrown into the castle jail, charged for a crime you did not commit.
Isn't that how it usually works?
This is a common fate for people who hold a royal secret. You are being removed from the drama at the castle. After a few days, the cell door opens. Once your eyes grow reacclimated to light, you see Count Dean standing before you. He unshackles your ankles and explains the situation to you. The Prime Minister had been jailing all of Dean's allies. As expected, Gustav was working for Bolga. He used a magical necklace to control the princess and influence Hydeland. Once Dean got Princess Vivian to safety and confronted the Prime Minister, Gustav fled with a ship full of treasure. The princess apologizes for involving you in this. While she was a hostage, Dean couldn't confront the Prime Minister. This kingdom needs a new ruler immediately. Dean is no saint, but he would make a good leader, you think. However,
How trusting.
when Gustav fled, he also stole the royal orb, another treasure that represents the right to rule Hydeland. If McNeil gets the orb, it will likely result in civil war. However, the orb does not appear to have reached Bolga. Princess Vivian asks for your help with this incident. You immediately agree and begin searching for the orb. Gustav's ship chose a pirate route, likely to elude captors. Perhaps his artifice was his undoing. You should investigate. To get the orb back, you travel to Ghost Ship Cove, a known pirate hideout.